my fellow Americans. This is former President Barack Hussein Obama, and you're listening to the Mad Titan Podcast. Please be sure to support this young brother from Chicago, Jay Washington, because he's a funny bastard. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.
I ignored my destiny once. I cannot do that again. Even for you. I'm the only one who knows that. At least I'm the only one with the will to act on it.
The Mad Titan Podcast with your host, Jay Washington.
What's happening, everybody? I'm back. It's episode 44 of the Mad Titan Podcast with me, your resident supervillain, Mr. Jay Washington. What's good, people? I think I got this one out in pretty much a timely fashion. That's because a lot of stuff didn't come on this week, and some things I'm just not watching. Batwoman, we know about that. It is what it is. I refuse. My heart is not there no more. I tried. I've done as much as I could. Look, I prayed on it. I sought out spiritual counseling and guidance on this one. And I was like, Lord, I want to be supportive to all of the shows, the cast members, the crew that works hard and diligently on these shows. But then the finished product came out, and I was like, Lord, pardon my phrasing, but fuck this. I can't do it. So I couldn't do it, Jesus. So yeah. But other than that, there's been a lot. There's a lot I got going on. I'll talk about it a little bit later. For those who are new to the podcast, if you don't know, I get you caught up on everything happening in the Marvel and DC live action and cinematic universes. This is barbershop talk for nerds. So like shit gets real. We talk about it. We come, straight off the dome. We don't try to hurt nobody's feelings. But if you're gonna be all in yours, you might want to turn this off right now because I don't really give a shit. For those who know me, you know. Like if you're gonna be sensitive because there's something I'm gonna talk about that's gonna make a lot of people mad, and that's on your motherfucking fault. Okay. But let me get into it, who I got my guest this week, man. I've been trying to get this brother on the podcast for a minute. I am a big fan of what he does and what his work ethic is and all the things he's done, man. You can find him on social media like crazy, but he also is one of the creators of a show called Family Time. This man is working his ass off, and that is something I respect. For those who know me, who know my hustle, who know my drive, anybody I know that is doing that and is doing it successfully, I highly respect that. You can follow this brother on Instagram, Team Clayton Thomas. He always sitting up giving advice in the smoothest of tank tops with all his chesticles covered up. That's the man Clayton Thomas in the building with me.
What's up, bro? First, I am just a writer.
Oh, you're a writer.
Family Time.
Oh, I thought you were like one of the
I don't want Bentley to hit me. Oh, you created it.
I'm sorry. Let me re-edit that. Okay, he's a writer and creator. A writer and producer. He's not the creator. So they'd be like, oh, you just sat there and get Clayton. You just gave this nigga credit. Excuse me, sir. I'm sorry.
Hey, can we talk to you, Clayton, for season 9? Oh, no, Ben, it's not even like that.
Like, listen, what happened? Yeah. So, yeah, I'm glad you're on it, bro. Thank you.
Man, I'm glad we've been working out. It has been a while. We've been trying to make it happen.
Yeah, man. Busy schedules. Like literally, I just got out the gym before I came here. You got out the gym.
Yeah.
So, black men are trying to keep their health on.
Trying to get it together.
Get it together. We were talking earlier this week before we recorded. We met up at the Ha-Ha. We were just happened to be there and we were talking. And one of the biggest things I found out about you is you're real big. You like Marvel, but you're more DC dude.
Oh, man. Let me tell you something, man. I have loved DC Comics since I was about 4 years old. Like the first show of DC that I was able to watch. I shouldn't even say show. The first film that I saw of DC's was Michael Keaton's Batman.
Okay, I think that was for a lot of people.
Man,
I agree.
It changed my life. Like to see that and then to go and see Batman Returns and then getting into the cartoons and then learning about everything else and Superman, of course. I think everybody watched the Christopher Reeve Superman on TV when it would re-air, but it was just so dynamic to me. And then I was slowly introduced to Marvel, but Marvel was very, like, they gave me too much at once. So the first thing I saw of Marvel was X-Men, and it was too much to keep up with. Whereas the next year they dropped the Spider-Man animated series, and I was like, oh, I love this. And it was like the Spider-Man animated series was able to introduce me to the world of Marvel because of the crossovers and what other people's powers did. And then I was like, okay, cool. I enjoy Marvel, but DC resonated with like everything because it was so real life. Even though there were fictional cities and these fictional powers, it was just so down to earth and dynamic, man. And I just became DC.
You know, that's been one of the things I did notice about that. Like if you ask the big debate of Spider-Man, the original series versus Batman, the animated series, a lot of people will go to Batman, and I can completely agree with them, and I know why.
Yeah.
You know, you get that Mark Hamill Joker.
Yep.
You get that introduction to Harley Quinn.
Yep.
You get all these great stories and that great action and that legendary opening sequence.
Oh, my goodness.
You know, just as much as Spider-Man has it,
Yeah.
you know, Batman the Animated Series has. Speaking of which, Disney Plus dropped this week.
Oh.
Did you grab it?
Not yet, and I'm going to tell you why. I want it.
Okay.
However, they're offering to bundle it with Hulu and ESPN. I'm not a big sports dude, but if it comes with a package, I get into sports.
$13.
So my thing is, I have Hulu already. Now, once they bundle the Disney Plus on Hulu as an advertisement, I can get it then. But then to just, it feels like if I do it the other way around, I'm spending extra money.
Well, I think you can cancel out your Hulu, but do you have Hulu with live TV?
I don't have Hulu with live TV.
See, I think that's the thing a lot of people were, you know, trying to figure out. I know I brought that up on Collider Movie Talk this week. Was like, that is the one thing that's not mentioned in the bundle. Mm-hmm. Like, of course, a lot of people do get Hulu for live TV so they don't have cable. Mm-hmm. You know, and I understand you can get a digital antenna and stuff like that. Yeah. But people are trying to figure out what happens with that. And I get it. I don't directly have it. I have someone's password who is a blessing. Who is a blessing. And I just want to say, it dropped Tuesday, correct? Mm-hmm. I am on season 4 of X-Men series. I just keep going. Yeah. And the thing is, when you watch it, for me, you forget how many different Marvel elements you're introduced to in just that. Like, you got to pay attention. Like, there's so much. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm watching the whole thing about the Phoenix Saga, and then you see the Kree and the Skrulls. Mm-hmm. You at one point see Captain Britain. You know what I'm saying? You get so much introduced.
This is why I hate your guts, Jay.
Because now you about to go.
Man.
I'd have made Clayton Thomas as we are recording this.
As we're recording this, I am turning my PlayStation on, and I am buying
Disney Plus. Dude. The Phoenix Saga, the whole Days of Future Past, watching that.
Realize amazing.
Which is when you remember that series, remembering how much of a badass Apocalypse is.
Man, and that's why when you saw the movie,
you were so upset.
Like, what is going on?
Like, bro? Apocalypse is that dude. Like, they haven't done it justice. Now, also for me, yes, I will binge out on Chippendale Rescue Rangers and Dark. Chippendale Rescue Rangers. That and Darkwing Duck, because when there's trouble, you call DW. You know what I'm saying? Darkwing Duck. Let's get dangerous. I gotta start watching Gargoyles again, but I'm gonna wait till I finish with X-Men the Animated Series. They have all of the old school Iron Man, Incredible Hulk cartoons. Like for the Iron Man one, the one that stars are going, remember that? You remember that? So yeah, that's on there as well.
I used to catch that on the way to school in the morning because that would come on, I think, at like either 6:30 to 7 or 7 to 7:30.
Yeah, it was early because I remember those. Yeah, it was early. So like it has all that. The one thing that is not on there currently, it's 2 things that are noticeable: Star Wars: The Last Jedi, as well as Black Panther. They are both not on there because they are currently tied up and contractually held by Netflix. So Netflix is trying to, Disney's like, all right, well, we might just have to ride this out. Yeah. And let it just sit on there until we can bring it over. Because, in all honesty, as long as people are watching it, it's not a loss to Disney Plus, which, by the way, dropped 10 million subscribers on its first day. Ooh. 10 million. Now, if you go 10 million subscribers, they're counting people who signed up for the service and paid for it. If you go the minimum basic package is $7 a package, they made $70 million at least in one day.
So how do we?
Now, so you can start. Now you can
start the trial.
Yeah, because it's $7 a month, but you can start the free trial if you want to, and then when your free trial is done, they're gonna tell you go ahead and get your shit together and bring your card. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? No, it's your email. So this is like legendary. I got him signing up for it while we watch it. But let's kick it off.
You're welcome, Disney. Thank Jay Washington.
You're welcome. Well, hey, listen, brother, it happens. Let's kick it off like I do always, though, with Marvel news. And one of the biggest stories that I think I saw this week is this past Friday. I'm recording this on a Sunday. Disney announced 5 new release dates for upcoming MCU films.
I lost my mind. I saw that an hour ago.
So I was like, yo, they are not playing. So here are the dates. October 7th, 2022. February 17th, 2023. May 5th, 2023. July 28th, 2023. And November 3rd, 2023. Now, I put this up on the Mad Titan podcast, Mad Titan Cast website, and I also said in that article, it can be safely assumed that one of those dates will belong to Blade.
Of course.
Starring Academy Award winner Mahershala Ali. Now, here's another question, and I'll ask you, Clayton, what I got you. What projects do you think we may get that fall on that date?
I need to see Fantastic. Well, I saw the movie.
The slate, yes.
Now, this is for the October date?
Just any one of them. I mean, just whatever. It doesn't have to be the dates, but whatever films do you think?
I need to see Fantastic Four, Blade. I need my sequel to Black Panther. I also...
That has a date already.
They gave Nova a date as well.
They did?
Yeah. Nova is...
Hold on, let me see.
23, I believe.
Okay.
And Spider-Man is in there.
Right, Spider-Man is, the last...
So Spider-Man...
So, Black Panther 2 is May 6, 2022.
Okay.
Spider-Man more than likely will be 2021, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. I'm pulling it up right now. Spider-Man 3, it doesn't have an official date yet.
Okay.
But Black Panther 2 does have a date. Nova does not have a date as of now. Deadpool 3 doesn't have a date. That could be one of them for sure. I believe that for a fact is that.
That could be that.
I think Deadpool 3 is a fact on that one.
I feel like they dropped Deadpool 2 a little bit too fast.
I think that was Fox. We got to remember that was Fox.
Fast.
That was Fox. That had nothing to do with Marvel Studios. Now, and especially with the fact that we found out and we've heard that Deadpool will be able to remain R-rated.
Yes.
So, which is, I think, the biggest thing has been to hear that. Because that was everybody's biggest concern. I know a lot of my listeners that hit me up was like, yo, you think they're going to change it? I was like, I hope not.
They shouldn't. They kept it R-rated, which I'm glad.
Yeah, because you don't want to... That was the point, though, of them doing Once Upon a Deadpool. Once Upon a Deadpool was just to show that if we wanted to go PG-13, we could.
And nobody wanted to see that.
Nobody cared at all. So that's what that is. But those are the dates. So I agree with you. Fantastic Four should be announced. I'm definitely with you on... what else? Blade, we got that one.
Yeah.
Nova, cool. Spider-Man 3 is one.
How dare you? Did you ever play Marvel vs. Capcom?
I did, but I just, for my thing in Nova, it's like, I would have that tie right behind the Guardians. Well, we got Guardians 3 days, excuse me.
Yeah.
Have that tie right behind Guardians 3. So whatever they're doing. So if Nova is for sure a film set to go, when we get Guardians 3, I think that'll lead right into, Nova.
It could. It could perfectly.
Or, now, I've said this, so Avengers Endgame was this year, which was 2019.
Yeah.
I've been under the impression that it would be at least 5 to 7 years before we get another Avengers team-up movie.
But here's the problem. Okay, so, one, somebody spoiled Tony Stark's death in Endgame for me the night I saw it.
Okay.
I'm talking about the day. At this time, I'm doing comments for the joint, and I'm like, yeah, comments. And the comment literally read, Tony Stark dies at the end of Endgame. And I was like, get out of here.
And I
started thinking about it, and it ruined it for me. And I got to the movie, and he died.
But I think even though a lot of people knew it, and yes, it was spoiled, and I think people should not have done that, I agree on that much. But I think you didn't know how.
True. I did not know how.
I think that was the thing. You didn't know how he died.
Yeah.
And so when you saw his death, it still caught you. Because, again, he had that culminating moment going, I am Iron Man.
Yes.
Snaps and boom. So, yeah, I think that'll be great to see what happens with that. So let's go to Disney Plus, which you are signing up for right now.
Yes, sir.
The Loki series. Now, star of, what is the show? I saw she was on, I forgot the movie. I saw it. I had the name of it. But they are saying that British actress Sophia DiMartino is going to possibly play the female Loki in the Loki series. Because many people thought she would possibly be the Enchantress. Which either way is cool. But for everybody to get the female Loki, with us potentially getting Jane Foster as the female Thor,
right?
it seems like the way to go. Now, I know you're going to have a bunch of these soft-ass dudes like, oh, man, why they just changing characters? That means you fuckers don't read comic books.
Right, to know what's actually going on.
Because it actually is established that there is a female Loki and a female Thor. So, what's your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on it is this, man. If you don't think that a lot of the hero films are going to drastically change within the next 5 years, you're out of your mind. They have to make room for the growing audience that is women seeing these comic book films. Also, my thought with this entire thing is I've never had a problem with seeing strong female characters on screen. My only problem is that a lot of, not only comic book films, but a lot of writers create these female characters to be weaker than men, and therefore as an audience you start to get annoyed by the female character because they're starting to make mistakes that you don't like the old trope of in a horror movie when they're running and they trip and they're like, oh my god, I tripped, but you don't show a man tripping in the woods, you know what I mean? So like, right,
and I know I'm clumsy as fuck.
Facts. So if you write these female characters as strong leads just as you write the male characters without the trope weaknesses that you think stereotypically women would have, I know that they can be successful. The reason Wonder Woman was amazing, outside of us never seeing Wonder Woman in a film, was seeing this woman be powerful and strong just like men. Not once did she cry and say, I don't know if I can do this. Like, she just did it. And that kind of thing needs to continue to reign true for all female characters. And in that sense, I will be the first in line to watch a female-led superhero film like I have been already. I watched Ghostbusters with the women. Didn't think it was bad. Keep going, Jay Washington.
I like the way you ended the note. Didn't think it was bad. Keep it going. Like, let's end that right here. I mean, but we are getting that. I mean, you got the Black Widow movie coming out. They had Evangeline Lilly. She was the first female to have her name in the lead. It wasn't her film in Ant-Man and the Wasp, but being in the lead name of it.
Yeah.
And she kicked ass in that movie.
Facts.
You know, so to see this going forward, we got Hawkeye that's going to, you know, front run Kate Bishop. Mm-hmm. You've got WandaVision.
Yep.
So I don't get, because there are people who are still talking shit about it, and I just don't get why people get mad about things like that. But let it be, and I can't wait for it to happen no matter what. Speaking of strong women in the MCU, which a lot of people have been upset about, Captain Marvel. Now, here's some news that I saw today, and it was hella interesting. She was originally supposed to be in the end scene of Avengers Age of Ultron.
Okay.
So, this is what Kevin Feige said. Captain Marvel was in a draft, he said early this year. He said, quote, but to me, it would have done that character, a disservice to meet her fully formed in a costume and part of the Avengers already when 99% of the audience would go, who is that? It's just not the way we would have done it. Mm-hmm. The way we revealed Scarlet Witch at the end of the movie, those were Captain Marvel's plate shots. Well, Josh said, we'll cast her later. And I said, yeah, Josh, we'll cast her later. I whispered to an invisible associate who isn't Josh, we're not putting her in there. So, she would have been in there, but Kevin Feige, being Kevin Feige, knowing how this was going to go, it's smart they didn't.
Yeah.
You don't shoehorn somebody in there because then you'd be like, wait, Captain Marvel, where the fuck did she come from?
Here's the thing. When you look at Avengers 2, the whole movie was already shoehorned. If you look at the entire film, if you watch that movie again,
which I have, unfortunately,
you will realize that each part of that movie was only made to set up each prospective Avengers sequel. I mean, each prospective Avengers the Hero sequel. So you look at what Iron Man went through. That set up Iron Man 3. Mm-hmm. You look at what Thor went through. That set up Thor Dark World.
Yes, it did.
You look at what I'm looking for Captain America. Like, all of these things planted seeds for their next individual films. So the entire thing was shoehorned. It was just better shoehorned than Batman and Superman Dawn of Justice.
Which also, one of the things, too, in Age of Ultron that really now stands out is Captain America lifting the hammer.
Ooh, you saw that little nudge.
Because he could lift it. He could always lift it, but you know why he didn't, I think?
Why?
Cap's a soldier. Mm-hmm. Remember, the thing was, if you lift Mjolnir, you can rule Asgard. Uh-huh. Leading the Avengers was one thing in itself. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Being a ruler of an entire kingdom is something I don't think he wanted, but he knew.
I disagree. I mean, I agree with what you're saying, but I disagree with that's not why the hammer didn't get lifted. The hammer didn't get lifted not because he was afraid of responsibility. The hammer didn't get lifted because his heart wasn't completely pure.
Because of the secret he held about.
The secret, yeah.
That's what some people have said. Because of the secret of him knowing that Bucky killed Tony's parents was the one thing he couldn't let. But at the same time, I mean, with that, Thor isn't totally pure.
No.
You get what I'm saying? Thor has had his, but I understand he had to come to the realization he was a fuck up.
Yeah.
And he had to, make amends for himself. Then finally he was worthy.
Right.
But at the same time, Cap has been worthy no matter what. I do get the guilt. I do get the guilt behind that. So that is a thing. There is also being reported that Thor: Love and Thunder, Thor 4, that's going to be directed by Taika Waititi.
As it should be.
Nobody else should have touched that movie. Jeff Goldblum is said to potentially reprise his role as the Grandmaster, and I am here for it.
Okay.
Well, because it lets us know that at the end of Thor Ragnarok, he didn't die like we all thought.
Right.
We thought he was pummeled to death and probably eaten by the scavengers.
Yeah.
So he wasn't. So cool. Also, Jeff Goldblum has said that there is more than likely a chance in the Marvel What If series we will see Robert Downey Jr. reprise his role as Iron Man.
Yes, but I think that's all animated, right?
I think so.
Because his voice is going to be in it.
That's the thing. His voice is it, but it's an animated series, so people are like, yeah, he's gonna put the suit back on, but like, yo, Tony's dead.
I don't even know what to expect from the What If series with it. Like, is it not supposed to be taken into it? Like, is it all canon and we're just looking like?
Well, no, it's exactly what it is. What If? Like, remember they did a comic. I don't know if you remember. They did a comic book series of What If.
Do not.
Yeah, and there was at one point where the Hulk had a cave. And he had memorabilia from everybody. He had Cap's shield, which was broken. Mm-hmm. He had Wolverine's skeleton. He had all these type of things. So again, this is a giant what if. Yeah. Clayton found Spider-Man and was like, now he's looking through all the series A to Z from Marvel and realizing everything that's on here.
That's crazy.
Yes, everything. Everything.
I used to love watching Avengers Earth's Mightiest
Heroes. I like Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
I don't see it though. That was the best of the Avengers series, animated wise.
So the fact that Inhumans is on here is really sad. Oh, yeah. But they like, yo, we gotta.
Will somebody please watch?
We gotta put it on here. The one that's interesting for me, real quick before we go further, Runaways is on here.
Oh.
Now I get it. Marvel does. Disney owns Hulu now.
Yeah.
But you now have it on
Hulu
and Disney Plus.
Yeah.
And this might be the Runaways' last season. Let's not forget, because they did cancel Cloak and Dagger, which
they canceled Cloak and Dagger,
which by the way just makes me think fans have started a petition to have Disney Plus pick it up now.
Oh,
which is possible, but also you got to remember Disney Plus is putting movie money behind these series, but they are also limited series. So like some are 8 episodes, some are 6.
Yeah.
So these are like movies being done for 8 hours. Well, I don't know. We don't even know if they're all hour episodes.
No.
So let me stop there. It's like, yo, could you imagine $150 million 8 hour?
8 hours.
So that's pretty much all the news I have.
Got it though.
Yeah, they definitely got X-Men Evolution is on here for me, which is dope. I never watched Wolverine and the X-Men, but everybody keeps saying I need to. Yeah, that's the one I gotta watch.
That was cool.
Tailspin is on there. All right, shout out Baloo.
Shouts out Baloo.
So let's go over to DC news.
Yes,
and
sir.
I've been waiting to get into this. First and foremost, The Rock has announced that Black Adam officially has a release date.
Finally, The Rock has come back to DC.
Well, did he ever leave? Nigga, he was announced as Black Adam 10 years ago.
But that's the problem. Because here's the thing. They always get us with these news tropes where they're like, yo, so this is going to happen and this is going to happen. But then 10 years goes by and we haven't seen anything. Not even so much as a cameo or them being able to go to the premiere of another DC movie.
Yeah.
Whereas with Shazam, we found out behind the scenes The Rock was part of the producing team on that.
Anytime you see $7 production on something, that is The Rock.
Facts. So it's like now I'm like, okay, great. Why did they tell us so early if they were going to do this? And also for them to say that for The Rock to say he's his favorite anti-hero?
No, he said his favorite superhero.
Which is ridiculous.
And that's what I was going to bring up because, so initially for those who don't know about Black Adam, he is the main bad guy for Shazam. They are the same thing. They are the yin and yang. He's referenced in Shazam, but not by name.
Right.
He is the original champion they had. Then they said they were going to do the Black Adam movie. It was finally going to happen. It was going to move forward.
Mm-hmm.
He said he was going to be an anti-hero. Now, when The Rock said his post on Facebook, he said it's his favorite superhero.
I'm hoping he misspoke.
I am hoping to God he misspoke as well, because that really would change everything about the character.
Yeah, and the relationship with Shazam.
With Shazam, yes. Also, so Black Adam was supposed to be initially a part of Suicide Squad 2.
Uh-huh.
He was supposed to be the bad guy. So the squad was supposed to be chasing a weapon of mass destruction.
Uh-huh.
The weapon was Black Adam.
Glad that's not it. Keep going. I'm going to tell you why.
Okay, so because I looked at you, I was like,
Well, I want to tell you why, right? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's go ahead.
The reason why Suicide Squad 1 was great, but it had that everything that you didn't like about Suicide Squad, I'm about to tell you. The reason you didn't like Suicide Squad and the reason you didn't like Jared Leto's Joker is because Jared Leto's Joker was not written the way it was supposed to be.
That was the Grand Theft Auto version of the Joker.
You know what I'm saying? Because they gave you bits and pieces and they showed you all of this flashy stuff, whereas in the original animated series of Assault on Arkham, the Batman movie, the Joker is the main villain. But in the Suicide Squad live action film, they made the Enchantress the villain. And here's the problem. The Enchantress isn't as popular as the Marvel Enchantress is. So therefore, when you introduce these grounded villains who don't have superpowers, and they're fighting a superpowered villain who also hasn't been introduced in a previous film, it's hard for the casual moviegoer to understand what's going on. I don't look at a lot of films like a comic book nerd. I look at films like the average moviegoer.
Mm-hmm.
And I happen to be a comic book fan, so it's like, oh, great, I know what this means. But that's the reason that movie where you're like, I didn't like that part, is because of that. If they would have let the Joker be the villain, it would have been all incredible.
But I don't think you would need the Suicide Squad to chase down the Joker.
Well, here's the thing. You don't need him to chase down the Joker. The Joker in Assault on Arkham was already in Arkham with the rest of them. He got someone to free him from his cage, from his cell, while all of them were doing an Amanda Waller mission. And he wreaked havoc. So then it became her saying, y'all need to get him back in Arkham. And they were like, well, why are we going to be doing that to him? What are you going to do to us? Like, he's one of us.
Right.
And then he started getting out of control. They had explosives in their heads. And they were like, all right, we got to do what she says or we're going to die. That's what that was. So it wasn't so much as Joker, you're a villain, you got to go down. It was like, yo, it's either you or me.
Okay.
So the fact that there would have been a Black Adam, which is another mythical creature of science fiction in the Suicide Squad, which is supposed to be grounded, would have been ridiculous for a sequel because they would have made the exact same mistake.
I get where you're coming from. I completely agree. I just think the fact that once we opened up the door to mythologies and whatnot, and now we know what magic is when it comes to Shazam.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have been so much of a stretch anymore.
No, it wouldn't have been a stretch because we've just seen it.
We've
I'm
seen
saying it would have been one of those like, wait a minute, why
are we doing this again?
Are we doing this again when this dude Shazam could have taken him down? Or if you want to do that for Suicide Squad 3,
that's a whole different ball.
Because then Shazam could have already taken out Black Adam, which is why he's in Arkham.
Yeah, I got you on that one. And ladies and gentlemen, that was Clayton Thomas breaking it down. Give him credit for that. I mean, hey, I'm with you though, but we'll finally see this movie happen. And the only reason this movie is finally moving forward is due to the success of Shazam.
Oh, don't think it ain't.
It's only due to the success of Shazam.
If it would have bombed, you wouldn't have seen nothing Black or Adam.
My man said nothing Black or Adam. You wouldn't have seen either one. I can't lie. I can't argue with you at all on that one. So a whole bunch of teasers for Crisis on Infinite Earths has dropped.
I have not watched a single one.
So there's a long 1 hour, 1 minute 30 seconds one.
Don't tell me.
No, real quick.
Okay, oh shit.
It ain't like spoiler, but what it does show is that Harbinger, Lila Michaels, is the one recruiting all of the heroes.
Okay.
So if you've been watching the regular series for the different shows, minus Batwoman because I don't know. The Monitor is playing a game with everybody.
Yeah.
He's telling everybody, I need you to do this. I need you to do that.
Right.
So like recently he told Laurel, I need you to betray Oliver Queen.
Exactly.
You know, but he goes to Lila Michaels, I need you to help me do this.
Right.
So he's moving all upon the pieces into play. She basically recruits Barry to let Barry know the crisis is starting.
Yeah.
She recruits Batwoman, tells her about the multiverse. And of course Ruby Rose's terrible acting. Multiverse? So yeah. You see Lila Michaels, Barry Allen, and Harrison Wells recruit Black Lightning.
Yeah.
Who basically is like, the fuck are y'all? That's the one thing
who recruits him?
Barry Allen goes. Barry, Lila, and Harrison Wells.
This is on the last episode of Blood.
No. This is in the teaser.
Okay, gotcha.
This is in the Crisis teaser.
I'm like, what?
Well, so here's the thing. A lot of people have said in a lot of comments in the reviews I do, which are on YouTube, the interviews, as well as just in general. They are worried that Black Lightning will be playing second fiddle to Oliver Queen and the rest of them. Mm-hmm. I don't think that's going to happen. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to tell you why. Several things. I don't think that character would have been brought over into this crossover if he would have had to play second fiddle. Mm-hmm. 2, he technically has been a hero way longer than any of them.
Way longer.
No matter what his Earth is, he's been doing this. 3, he is older than them.
He's a lot older.
He's older. He is not going to take shit from them.
Right.
So, for people who think that they're just going to have it bow down to Oliver, yeah, Oliver will have that front role, but I don't think he'll be able to push people around. And especially Cress. I mean, especially Jefferson Pierce, excuse me.
I agree. My thing is, I believe that, I hope this isn't true. I have a feeling that Jefferson Pierce will take the John Diggle role of being overly astonished by everything everybody's doing because he's only been exposed to Freeland and the Green Light and his daughter's superpowers.
Yeah, he hasn't seen what actual metahumans on a whole different level are.
And the way that they portray Jefferson Pierce is that, yes, he has been doing it for a long time and longer than everybody, but he's only been doing it in Freeland.
Yep.
So it's not like he's been around the world with Bruce Wayne or the other Justice League members to know what it's like to see people from different backgrounds and different road galleries. Also, in his world, those characters are comic book lore. Right.
They're not real.
That's a great point because there were comic books and so many episodes that Thunder was watching.
Reading. So there are comic book characters in this lore. So now you find out that they're real, and we see how that plays. All right. So that was that. This is where we get real. All right. Put the remote. There you go. See, X-Men right there. There we go. All right. So I'm letting them put it in rest mode. Here we go. For those who listen to the show, those who follow me, you know how I feel about this subject. And that subject I'm about to talk about is the whole release the Snyder Cut.
It'll never be released. Keep going.
Thank you. First of all, now, so Jason Momoa said, yeah, release it. Kevin Smith, Lord Jesus.
That's power of Kevin Hart. I said release the Snyder Cut, Kevin.
Release the Snyder Cut. Thank you. Kevin Smith has said it. Ray Fisher, of course, because we need to see more of his Cyborg, and he wants people to know I did something else.
Yes, exactly what he wants.
Zack Snyder has now officially said it instead of just dropping clips. And as of today, as of the time of this recording, Wonder Woman herself has hashtag released the Snyder Cut. I think this shit is getting ridiculous because they keep saying, yeah, I saw the cut. Do people understand what a cut of a movie is?
They don't.
I wonder, do people realize a cut does not mean a finished product?
No, they think it's going to be a completely different movie with a different ending, with a different setup than what they saw.
They think it's going to be a totally different, and that's not the case.
No.
Joss Whedon came in and did reshoots.
Yeah.
He did reshoots. By the way, I think people need to understand the studio we're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Warner Brothers. No matter how you may have felt about that movie, Warner Brothers was going to interject no matter what. That is what they do. So, we saw a change in tonality just slightly. I need people to stop acting like the entire tone of the movie changed.
Right.
There were certain jokes and humor added because, yes, that's what Joss Whedon does. That's a staple of his. However, the majority of that movie is Zack Snyder's movie.
Yeah.
Why do people keep thinking this movie is going to come out and just change everybody's perception? I understand people keep bringing up the Donner cut from Superman 2.
Yeah.
This is an entirely different ball game.
Yeah. Also, the thing with Donner, he did something that Snyder did not do, which was he shot Superman 1 and Superman 2 simultaneously. It wasn't like he was like, all right, let's take 2 years off. He took the budget from one movie and made two completely different movies back to back. so that the studio didn't even know what they were doing, and by the time it was time to do the sequel, it was already ready. So of course he has a separate cut. Zack Snyder got all of these actors together. He created a storyline as the story that he wanted to tell, and completely, in my opinion, changed a lot.
Yes.
Now, with that, the movie, unfortunately, to his loss, he wasn't able to complete the movie. Definitely, prayers and energy goes out to his family, because that kind of loss isn't easily recoverable.
Absolutely.
However, when you say a cut, we're talking about maybe 5 or 6 extended scenes that might give a different context to scenes that we've already seen. However, it does not change the story of beginning of how they end up meeting up to the end to how they got rid of Steppenwolf.
Nope.
And you can't even change animation, because that, computer generated, the
CGI.
Because that is up to the cinematographer. That's up to the special effects guys. So he had no part in that. What he had part in was the stuff that he shot.
Right, was principal photography stuff.
Come on, man.
And which people keep, that's the thing people don't understand. People are like, well, why don't Warner Brothers just release it? Because you have to edit that.
Yep.
If you really, and if you are one of those release the Snyder Cut people that are listening to this is what I'm going to tell you. Do you honestly think that Warner Brothers is going to put out something that's not finished without visual effects and everything?
Right.
And B, even do that and potentially lose money because it costs to do that.
Yep.
There is not enough fan support. I do not care that people are like, well, it's got 400,000 signatures. That does not warrant them putting a movie out.
No.
You understand it costs to distribute a film. And then people will say now, we'll just drop it on HBO Max. Why do that when you're trying to worry about all the other content that you are creating?
Also, I'll give you another perspective. I had someone who did a sketch with me drop, this is one of those days where it was like, when you shoot with other people around your same amount of fans, you know, you do things like, hey, can I get the video? You'd be like, yeah, I typically release the video to the person after I've edited.
Right.
But at this particular time, I just gave them the shots, which is a big mistake. Anyway, they dropped the video, and the video does 1 million views on their page. Great result for them. However, it was not the story that I wanted to tell, right? As far as the way certain shots were and the way that they were just put together. So I, of course, edited my video, dropped it. I got about, on that video at the time, 30,000 views in comparison to the person who got the 1 million, right? Now, the reason I say that is because what I released was the CT cut. Doesn't change the story.
Yep.
It just changes how you saw the story. That's the only difference with a cut, with a director's cut. It's not changing the story. It's only changing the way certain things are seen.
And I think people need to understand, and people need to understand that. That's why I keep telling people, do you understand Justice League is a bad movie?
It's not good.
As a whole.
But it was the best version of Superman once he was alive.
Once he was finally...
Was the best
but
version
also,
represented.
you need to explain some shit, too.
Yeah.
You need to explain why this nigga woke up angry.
Facts.
Like, you're dead and alive. I think the last thing you want to wake up is angry.
He also wasn't supposed to be dead. And here's the problem. This is where the Justice League movie failed as a whole. Superman was such an integral part of the film. Everybody knows when Doomsday kills Superman, he doesn't kill him. He beats him within an inch of his life to where he has to go back to the Fortress of Solitude and be replenished with all of this stuff from his Kryptonian planet and his Superman robot. Which the Fortress of Solitude is capable of doing because he's in his home environment in the Fortress of Solitude. Once that's happening, he's getting his strength back. He sees what Lex Luthor's been planning. He sees the clone of Superman has been out, and then he rushes back to fight him in the triumphant Black Superman suit. Now, without that, they already changed things, and by they I mean Snyder, by killing Superman and bringing him back with Doomsday DNA. That does not happen, bro.
That makes zero sense. It makes, and I know people be like, well, Doomsday is technically Zod, but Doomsday is Zod and Luthor.
Exactly.
So
now we're creating counter Kent in this motherfucker. Is that what we're doing?
Now we're creating counter Kent in a sense instead of bringing back Superman. So I really get frustrated by it because also people keep thinking because it's only, you have to realize when it comes to a movie for a major studio.
Yep.
400,000 people mean nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
Nothing. Even let's be honest, 1 million people
Wouldn't do it.
mean nothing. It means nothing.
No.
People are too busy trying to sit there and say, oh, well, we're making noise and then we're going to put pressure on them. How much pressure do you honestly think you're putting on Warner Brothers?
Here's the smart thing, and this is the smart move that nobody's thought about. Well, also, let me give you a little bit of context so people understand this. When it comes to the reason you're saying Marvel is beating DC live action, that's true. They're not beating us animated. But
right.
What I want
that's
to say
very true. I agree.
The reason for that is Marvel is owned by one company, one voice. They give credit to the creators of it, which were the cartoonists, the animators, Stan Lee, or people who wrote stories, or Jack Kirby. But in DC, you look at Bob Kane, you look at Joe Shuster, Jerry Siegel, all of these people who created the character. However, those characters, although overall owned by Warner Brothers, the families of these people who created these characters still own a piece of these characters. So when you talk about, oh man, they need to do a Flash movie, they need to do a Superman movie, it's not only up to Warner Brothers, it's up to the families of these creators who are not in the business but still get a say-so in their in the person who created his likeness. So with that, it's like, yo, let's do a Flash movie. Warner Brothers is like, yeah, let's do one. Now you got to talk to the family who created the Flash and be like, hey, this is what we want to do. Well, I don't like that. And it's like, you don't know anything about comic books, but we have to talk to you because you own part of it.
Yep.
And that's how it goes. So until these families are bought out, there will not be a singular voice, which is Warner Brothers, in creating these characters. Now, if you want to sign a petition, sign this petition and go to the family. You will get a lot further than talking to Warner Brothers.
Also, we keep talking about Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers has a bad track record of interfering with the filmmaking process.
Yes.
It has been known throughout every film.
Green Lantern. Superman.
Suicide Squad.
Batman.
So that is all. Anything you don't like, that is one. And I'll say this: Wonder Woman's third act. That is Zack Snyder.
That's Snyder all day.
That is Snyder. Wonder Woman would have been a perfect movie if it followed its formula from Act 1 and 2, which Patty Jenkins did.
Yep.
Act 3, when it goes super dark for no reason.
And extremely CGI.
And heavy CGI for no reason, that is Warner Brothers a la Zack Snyder.
Look, just like 300. I was like, what is this?
For no reason.
When did 300 get here?
But people keep thinking that it's an easy thing to have happen. When, again, you're talking about Justice League. It has been 2 years.
Yep.
Warner Brothers have completely shown you. Warner Brothers has. It's hard to say a plural name in a studio that's only really one thing.
That's a good point.
It's really difficult because you got to remember, is it has, have.
Yep.
Warner Brothers as a studio has moved forward. Everything they're doing is gone from the Snyder vision.
Yep.
Why do you think they would want to backtrack?
And think about it like this. When you look at Snyder, let's talk about Zack Snyder for a second. Look at Zack Snyder. This is what not only studios do, but movies and TV shows. They go and they get somebody who just had big success with a project. So that's why when you see somebody have big success with a movie, then everybody's courting that person because they don't want to go from scratch with somebody new. They want to go with somebody who just had this recent hit. That's why you'll see somebody who did a movie, and you'll be like, oh man, who's that dude to play Superman? Oh, well, let's get him to play this. Oh, The Rock did Fast and Furious? Let's get him to do this. And it's like bam, 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 bam. That's how things go. However, Zack Snyder got lucky once with 300. Ain't nobody gonna talk about Sucker Punch, but then y'all want to give him the entire DC universe. You look at Marvel. Kevin Feige has been atop of these people. He's been atop of a Joss Whedon. He's been atop of he fumbled Patty Jenkins, but we got her in DC. However, these people, we don't have a Kevin Feige in Warner Brothers. They just keep getting these super directors and producers at DC and being like, all right, let's do that. But who's above them to where we can put this vision behind besides Jeff Johns? And he cannot have the responsibility of everybody.
Jeff Johns' issue is Jeff Johns is a comic book writer.
Yeah.
And that is a conflict of interest. I think people need to understand that as well. And what do I mean by conflict of interest? As a comic book writer, you cannot exactly write that character the same way to translate to the big screen.
Right.
Jeff Johns he does not understand that too much, which is why they tried to make Johns the Feige, and they pulled that away. And agreed. Warner Brothers, DC does not have a Feige. But again, I don't want to stray too far. It's about this whole Snyder Cut thing.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers will only put something out if it's going to make a profit.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for saying that. That's exactly why they abandoned. Here's the thing. Warner Brothers has not focused on the characters. They've only focused on trying to catch the money. So when you looked at Avengers come out, Warner Brothers was like, you know what? We're going to drop the Justice League. We're going to drop all the characters at once. And then whatever character pops from that movie,
we'll do a solo movie.
And I was like, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like, take the formula that's working. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Give every character their solo project and then bring them together because the audience is invested in them. But instead of doing that, they did the Justice League. And because of the Justice League was so horrible, the Snyder Cut came out. I've never seen a group team-up movie make less money than the Justice League. I bet you Mystery Men made more than that.
The crazy part is Justice League didn't even touch, what was it, barely touched 900,000?
Nah.
900 million, excuse me, was supposed to hit $1 billion. Was supposed to be a guaranteed $1 billion property.
Guaranteed.
And then people want to automatically put that on Joss Whedon.
Yeah.
Remember, at the end of the day, guess what director is credited for that movie? So, for everybody who wants to see something that potentially is not good, you have a lot of people saying it because guess what? It does. I don't think people realize also it does not hurt Gal Gadot to say it.
No.
It does not hurt Jason Momoa.
No.
It for damn sure doesn't hurt Kevin Smith.
Mm-mm.
These people are good regardless.
Yeah.
Regardless.
They also kind of have to say it because he gave them an opportunity.
They have to say it because nobody... Look, you did not care about Gal Gadot when she was in Fast and Furious.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't. Jason Momoa was Khal Drogo who died, and then most people had to figure him out. Yeah, he did Conan, and that went nowhere.
I was a fan when he was on Baywatch, but keep going.
Wow.
Baywatch Hawaii, actually. But keep going.
Wow.
I've been a fan.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I feel like I grew up with Jason Momoa.
Okay, I'll give you that. You were one of 7 people. But those are he gave them their major breakthrough roles. Of course they're going to support it. Mm-hmm. This is the director who helped me. Of course they'll say it.
Yeah.
Of course.
You'll see Ben Affleck saying it.
Ben Affleck hasn't said. You haven't seen Henry Cavill say anything either.
Ooh, good point.
You haven't seen Batman nor Superman say anything.
Good point.
So if those two aren't going to say it, we all know Kevin Smith writes for DC. He does a lot of work with DC consistently.
Yep.
He directs episodes of the Arrowverse shows.
Yep.
People got to calm that down because, again, what happens if this movie is trash? Even more trash. Then what?
I don't have faith in it.
Because that's the thing. A lot of people who are listening, some of you all who are fans who listen to the show right now, are going to go in like, no, I know it's going to be good. And because of that feeling, and because of that overhype optimism that you have, no matter what turns out of that film, you are going to praise it.
Oof.
No matter what.
Got to keep that face.
And that is not a good thing. And again, I know a lot of people come at me with like, Jay, well, you just an MCU fan. You're just all Marvel and Disney. You're Disney shield. Let me tell you something. I've told y'all how much I didn't like shit in certain movies. I think the CGI at the third act of Black Panther was trash. You know why? They didn't give Coogler enough money. I did not like Thor: The Dark World, okay? Captain America, when you watch the first Avenger again, is actually not good. So try me.
Let's back up a little bit. I'm going to stall you out with everything that you said except Captain America First Avenger. And I'm going to tell you why. I have been the only person writing for this movie since day one.
So you noticed that,
I
dude.
enjoyed that film.
I mean, the story in itself, I get it.
Yeah.
But as when you look at it, in comparison to everything else.
Oh, well, you can't compare it. The only reason you can't compare it is because that was the first Marvel film that had done a period piece.
Fair.
Everything else was current and present day.
Yeah, fair.
That's why I didn't say nothing about Dark World, because you were absolutely right.
Thor: The Dark World is awful.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Okay.
But that's how they corrected it for Thor 3, Ragnarok.
Oh, they made sure they did that.
Man.
They did that. And also, again, you know, like I said, Black Panther, I will always go that fight with Killmonger and T'Challa.
Yeah.
You can tell it was like, look, we're stretching the CGI budget at the end.
Man, that CGI was too much.
We're just stretching it too much. I get it. So please don't say, and again, Black Panther is one of my favorite films of all time.
Yeah, it's incredible.
So this should let you know if I'm willing to criticize it.
Yeah.
If I'm willing to criticize it, I have no bias all the way through.
I got one criticism for Black Panther, and this is the only thing that I did not like about the movie, aside from, the over CGI with that scene. There was a scene right after Killmonger won, and he was the king, and he walked to the throne with a sweater, a shirt, some pants, some sandals with no socks. I say, why couldn't the king have some socks on? That's the only thing I didn't know.
Hey, man, you want to be traditional?
Hey, man.
Let the king have his... Look, we already gave T'Challa the what are those?
That's a good point.
Okay, so with those sandals. So it makes sense to keep them going. Those are the royal sandals. Those are royal sandals. So that's my thoughts on the whole Snyder Cut thing, but we'll... eventually it'll keep being talked about. Eventually it'll keep being talked about. Do you watch Titans?
Like the votes in Florida. Of course, I'm caught up too.
Right, so what you think?
Here's the thing. This is what I think, man, and I'm glad you asked me. Titans Season 2 is far better than Season 1.
That is not hard. First of all, you
far
can see.
Better.
We can see people.
Man.
You can see Starfire.
It was so dark in Season 1. I'm like, not even like the content, but I could not see.
They did not light it.
But for me... This is the problem I had with the first couple episodes of Titans. One, when you look at everybody, I have this thing about, I hate seeing the superheroes fight without their costumes and everybody gets to see their face.
I've said that too.
It's like, I get it, you have these actors and you're paying them, you want their faces to be seen, but these aren't actors who have chosen characters that their faces are covered. These, like, the only person that I need you to cover their face, you gotta cover Robin's face, you gotta cover Dick Grayson's face, you gotta cover Hulk and Doug's
Yes,
face.
you do.
What do you do? I don't want to see them fighting in plain clothes blow.
Yep.
Right. So when you look at the episodes, I also think that it's taken way too long for them to get him to get the idea of being Nightwing, and I'm wondering how they're going to get themselves out of the corner of him being in prison.
Well, I've already said this. From Season 1, when I watched the first couple of episodes, and I watched how reluctant he was to put on the suit, I said this entire show is just the journey of Dick Grayson going from being Robin to Nightwing. I have said it from jump. And the final episode, the season finale of this season is called Nightwing.
Oh.
It's called Nightwing.
Good to know.
So, also, I agree with...
in that costume, though, but he just going to...
No, he has a costume. You ever seen the pictures? Yeah.
Okay, cool.
They're behind-the-scenes photos. He'll get the costume.
Cool.
But again, you brought up a great point. This nigga is an actual prisoner in a legal system.
It's not like he's a John Doe. He's Dick Grayson in prison.
It is Dick Grayson. This nigga actually is in solitary for assaulting cops.
And did it again when they came in the cell this past episode.
Now, in this past episode, Raven and Starfire decide to break this nigga out.
Which is also illegal. Starfire's good because she's not of this planet, so she ain't in the system.
She in the
system. Girl is in that system.
Raven is in the system.
Yeah.
And then
they ain't even called her Raven yet. Keep going.
No, they have. They call her. No, they still call her Rachel. I'm sorry. She's still Rachel. She's still Rachel. So, explain to me, and me and Winston talked about this on the review, we'll find out next week, of course, this week coming up. How do you justify him getting out of prison to help fight Slade with not having a record? And I get Bruce Wayne has money, but Bruce doesn't have that type of pull.
How does Bruce... First of all, let's also talk about Bruce Wayne. This is what I just talked about as far as what producers and studios do when somebody's part of a big project.
Make it England just because he was part of Game of Thrones. Bruce Wayne, when he looks nothing like Bruce Wayne, more like Alfred. Yep,
he looks way more like Alfred, and that's spot on. That's spot on. But aside from that, so you mean to tell me Bruce Wayne is now not only calling different Titans, the women of the Titans, none of the men. He's called all the women from the Titans. He called
Donna.
He called Donna on the phone pretending to be Rachel.
He went through Dawn's car.
He went through Dawn's car as a commercial to come to this diner, and he did another commercial to come to Starfire, as opposed to just picking up the phone saying, "Hey, I'm Bruce Wayne. We need to talk." That would be even more impactful.
And had to meet up at a diner where he just showed up and then left.
It's like, why?
The nigga didn't even leave a box with suits or anything.
That's even better. That's even better for it. No suits.
He just literally... So what y'all gonna do? All right, I gotta go.
And Alfred wasn't there either.
The nigga drove himself to Nevada.
From Gotham City, which is apparently close to Detroit.
Or New York.
And you mean to tell me he didn't bring Alfred? He didn't come with no suits? He also sat like he was just a British gentleman. I ain't never seen Bruce Wayne cross his legs.
Bruce Wayne would have just sat down. Also, that's another thing. In this episode, and we talked about it in a review, the one thing they did to give him just a little bit of redemption as Bruce, just a little, is being able to fight in Dick's hallucinations.
That's the only thing.
That was it.
That's it.
Also, here's a bigger part about the episode that I need to talk to, and I'm glad I could talk to you about it. Me and Winston talked about it. I put it on the videos on the YouTube channel. Fellas, if you have a woman who takes you to her crib, she is full systems go, and she is trying to get you naked to fuck, how about you shut the fuck up and fuck?
Come on. What are you doing? You seem like you're exhibiting certain methods. I'm a doctor. I can talk to you about it. What are you doing, fam?
You just talked yourself out some pussy.
You just talked yourself smooth out that box.
What you literally did is went home with blue balls and beat off thinking about what could have been.
I have a car and I'm affordable. What are we doing, bro? What are you talking about?
And again, I can't get mad at the writers because there are situations in real life that has happened with dudes. I wish y'all could see Clayton's face. The nigga just hold his head.
I'm so disappointed and disgusted at the fact that happened. Why that was going on. I said, how did we get here? Like, she brought this black man home.
A black man home. Like,
and he's doing this bullshit?
Which also, I think Corey's pregnant.
What do you say?
The throw up. Out of nowhere.
Ooh, so that means the baby is Dick's.
Either Dick's or
her
dude, yeah.
It's probably her servant.
So she finna have some black love. At least it's black love. Now,
but he did, dude.
He hella did. But
he did, dude.
But again, it was like, why would you have him talk like, bruh, shut the fuck up?
Man, that was so pointless.
I'm like, yo, we've seen Hawk and Dove get it on.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Minka Kelly. Shout out to Minka Kelly.
Minka Kelly is just, whew.
She's the one.
But also, Anna Diop is bad as hell, too.
Oh, she's so chocolate.
She is chocolate goodness. That is a sister like that I appreciate.
I saw her on the first season of Greenleaf. That's where I discovered her. She's great.
Hey, Anna, do you live out here in L.A.? Listen, I understand I'm not on that level just yet, but I have a good heart.
I have a good heart.
I have a good heart. I'm a good person.
Ooh, you got to throw in the fact that you love chocolate girls.
And I love
that. Means something.
I know. In this city?
Oh, yeah.
They
don't get a lot of love.
Hell no. They be
Unfortunately, I love them.
God bless your chocolate women. Yeah. But yeah, so that, and then, the whole, Rose and Jason banging.
Yeah, that was... First of all, give me a flashback of how she lost her eye. Like, give me that.
We still have yet to get that.
I'm like, what?
Also, we find out that she's working with Slade the whole time.
The whole time. And now she's out.
So...
But, is she working with Slade the whole time? Or has she been working with her brother?
No, so Jericho's in him.
I know.
Jericho's in... So, yeah, and she don't realize it. Okay, good point.
See?
But I think the problem I have with it, though, is...
Wait, before you say that, we saw at the end of the episode that Jericho's in him by doing the hand signs.
Right.
How do you miss somebody giving you a hand signal that's saying something completely different? I need you to get out of my house right now. You don't make you think?
Or, like I said, when Winston said on the video, how did you not catch on when his wife said, they?
I picked that up immediately. Like, who's in the room? Are they alive in the room? Technically, they are.
They are. They have to forgive you.
Yep.
And he just, hey Slade, listen, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, but listen, we're going to start fighting. You didn't just notice she said 2 people in the tent? Oh, he's
also, you didn't notice Slade moods changed.
Yeah. His moods changed immediately.
His moods changed. He was apologizing for the death. And I think Jericho accepted it. But when all of a sudden he was like, hey, where you going? That was Slade kicking back in. So there's certain things. We got 2 more episodes in this season.
Are there 2 more?
It's 13.
Okay.
13. 2 more episodes.
They gave Doom Patrol, what, 15 or 16?
Because you better have.
That was a great show.
Let me tell you something. Shout out to Diane Guerrero as always. She was amazing. She was the glue behind the show.
She was. Such an incredible actress.
I did not want to give Javon Wade credit at first as Cyborg when I heard he was cast. I was like,
why not?
Because I was like, you're too small.
Yes and no. See, you're thinking, and that you're falling into that Cyborg is my size or your size, which is real. In television, nobody's our size.
Well, nigga, we are our size.
I'm talking about as what they've already cast.
Oh, yeah. So, and I'm trying to be cast anyway, by the way. If you ever need an extra big nigga in a role on Family Time, here I got IMDb page.
There it is.
But no, it was just that I wanted a little bit taller.
Yeah.
Just a little. He didn't have to be bulky. I didn't mind the bulk. The size was cool. I understand the realism element. The X-Men movie made me understand that.
Yeah.
The first X-Men movie made me realize everybody doesn't have to be muscular and jacked up.
Which is also unfortunate. I always looked at it like the camera is going to pick up what you tell it to pick up. So you don't have to cast now, for a lot of wire work, if you're telling me 300-pound guys are hard to throw around, I'll listen to you, but at the same time, I don't believe that. Because if you have wires picking up 3-ton trucks,
you can have wires pick up a 300-pound person with no problem. I completely agree with that. It was just that, but again, he basically blew me out the water with the season. The role he gave.
Yeah.
Brendan Fraser as Robot Man.
Oh my God, he was made to play him.
He was made to play him, and I understand that's two different people. There's somebody in the body, and Brendan's the voice. But also, when you see Brendan, when we saw in the very first episode him fucking the babysitter, I was like, I am in for this show.
I was in, bro.
Because I was like, this what we doing?
This is this show? I didn't know.
Because I was, again, we're coming off of Titans.
Yep.
And I'm like, this is what we doing?
This is what we doing.
Cool. All right, bet.
Also, you got to give love to
Rachel Balby as Jane.
Yes, as Jane, but
Larry Bloom as Negative Man.
As Negative Man.
Matt Bloom, excuse me. Larry Matt Bloom. I can't remember his Matt Nobles. I got to find his name.
As Negative Man and as who's the villain's name?
Oh,
Alan Tudyk.
Yeah.
Man, he's tremendous. I felt like when they told me he was doing an animated version of the Joker and something, I was like, I can see that because a lot of his voice inflections went Joker-ish in Doom Patrol.
Dude, it was so... Matt Bomer, I'm sorry. It was Matt Bomer who did the Negative Man. I'm sorry. Larry Traynor is the character's name. Yeah. So I apologize for that. But, I didn't think I was going to like Alan Tudyk the way he was doing it.
Same.
Being the narrator and stuff. But the way it just all worked itself out. So, so that had 15 episodes. And again, the second season appears on HBO Max. Which is kind of...
So what's going on with the app, though? Did they do this for no reason?
So I've always been a big person who's like, yo, aren't y'all just going to absorb it into... DC Universe is going to get absorbed into the Warner Brothers app, which is now known as HBO Max. No, it's going to stay two separate things. I think once there is a decline, they're going to figure out something because they're going to have too many consumers complaining.
Yeah, because why am I... This is what annoyed me first. When I watched week to week on Titans last year, and it pissed me off that I had to watch week to week because I came into Doom Patrol later because I didn't know what it was. So I was able to binge a lot of it and then catch week to week. But I watched week to week on Titans, and 2 weeks after Titans wrapped, it was all on Netflix.
Yep.
That pissed me off.
Well, because overseas, so there's a thing overseas in certain countries that DC Universe wasn't allowed. So season 1 streamed weekly on Netflix. And so I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, but season 1 streamed over, so they just were like, look, we'll just release it right afterwards as a whole thing afterwards. So I get what you're saying about that, but we'll see what happens with that. They got, again, Green Lantern series coming.
When? I need it tomorrow.
It's coming soon. It's a question of which Lantern they're going to do. The Green Lantern Corps movie, I forgot to tell y'all about that news. It is happening.
Really?
It is definitely happening. It is Jon Stewart, and they're not sure who yet. They're trying to decide if they want to go away from Hal Jordan, and then they're trying to decide it's going to be Kyle Rayner or Guy Gardner.
I feel like if they're going to do Jon Stewart, they got to just do Jon Stewart. If they're doing the Corps...
It's the Corps, but it's going to be a buddy cop.
If they're going to do buddy cop, it's got to be Hal and John.
You want Hal?
I need Hal, because Hal didn't have a white glove, so I don't acknowledge the first one. Doesn't happen. If Ryan Reynolds can go on Deadpool and make fun of Green Lantern, his version of Green Lantern twice, then I'm not acknowledging.
No, that's fair. That's fair. That is very fair. Yeah. So listen, that's all we got so far with for the show with news and everything. Now I'm gonna go to the calls on the hotline 876-876 fuck. My brain is scrambled if y'all haven't noticed because I'm still busy on so much stuff. I got a meeting after this, and then I gotta go to work, and then I'm catching up with my homie Ryan Sands, who plays Jeffrey Wilder on Runaways. So yeah, all that's happening. 818-276-6947. 818-276-6947. We're going to go to the calls, and if you call, leave a voicemail, I can maybe play it on the show. You probably can hear it. We'll see what happens. So let's go to our first call right now.
Brother Jay, what's good? What's cracking, man? Chauncey from Chicago hitting you one more time. So we really close from getting to this Crisis of Infinite Earths, man, on CW. And you know, you've been a man, you've been making a lot of these predictions happen, and Choir Skip, they've been true. Of course, you know, you got your Fast Track Connects, but, you know, hey, you've been spot on with a lot of your predictions. What are like one or at least two things you are anticipating in terms of this major event that's happening? Actually, I got three things. What are two things that you're anticipating about it, if not at least one? And one thing I wanted to ask, do you think the John Diggle Green Lantern thing is going to be a real deal in this series? Or is it just going to be, a chain getting pulled? But two things I would say I'm anticipating is a Brandon Routh, Tom Welling, Superman team up. I guess you could throw in Tyler Hoechlin too. He's like my least favorite of the three, but I love to see a Tom Welling, Brandon Routh team up of their Superman. I also want to see Black Lightning and his interactions with everybody else. I'm talking Slash, Green Arrow, Diggle, etc. So that's all I pretty much got for you, man. Keep it up, keep doing your thing, and hope to get back from you soon. Peace.
All right, thank you, Chauncey, again for your call as always. So, what do I think I'm gonna see in Crisis? For me personally, I do think we'll see Diggle with a Green Lantern suit, somehow, some way, or with the ring. We'll see a Diggle with a ring.
Okay.
But I also do think we will see all three Supermen suited up.
Okay.
I think we'll see all three Supermen suited up. Another thing I believe we will see. What is the thing? I had it in my head. I can't remember. But yeah, I think that's going to happen. Yeah. So what about you, Clayton?
I'll put it like this, man. I'm laughing at your prediction of seeing the ring at least.
Why are you laughing?
Because, man, I think it was an incredible moment when they showed us that Earth 91, I believe, had the John Diggle being John Stewart.
Yeah.
And I love that Earth 1 has John Stewart's adoptive father,
last
name being
Stewart,
so that he would have taken his last name and become the Green Lantern. However, and he was already in the military, all that stuff. So I think that would have been fire. However, I don't think that we're going to see that because they don't give Diggle any cool stuff because he is our fucking size and he's the dude that could be.
So David's the homie.
Yeah.
And have you seen David up close and personal recently?
Yeah. Oh, recently no, but I know he's still yoked.
Doesn't say like I see David recently, and I was like, "Yo."
They keep him separate from Oliver Queen's size while they be bulking, like putting jackets over his body because they know how yoked he is.
Yep.
They don't want to make Oliver look too small. But
which Stephen Amell is. I think because of all that, I think that's why you just said it. They don't give Diggle anything cool.
Yeah.
Why not have this be the cool thing?
That would be it.
Why not have, again, this is Arrow's last season.
Yeah.
No matter what. This crossover is their last big thing together in a sense, minus the death of Oliver or whatever, how that's going to happen. Why not have it be this?
I would be in that. I would be down for that 1,000,000%. I just looking at the track record. Like, even when I look at the Michael Jai White playing Bronx Tiger, like, let me tell you something. The last episode of Oliver being in prison and Bronx Tiger and him, that was the dopest.
The way the shot followed them fighting, the one at top and the bottom.
Dopest episode of Arrow since season 2 when he was fighting Slade.
Yes.
So when you look at them in size-wise in particular, I'm like, Michael Jai White is just as big as Diggle. And they keep the distance, just like, oh man, I just wish that black dudes got shown love like we should in the Arrowverse.
Absolutely.
But also, I would love to see because Tom Welling is my Superman, bro.
Of course.
I'm still mad that they CGI'd him into the suit the final episode, but I would love to see all three Superman. And I'm actually glad that they opened it up and showed that there were more than just one Superman, because Tyler's Superman is so... You gotta understand, he was cast to make Melissa Benoist's Supergirl look just as imposing and strong.
Yes.
So they couldn't have hired Tom Welling to do that because the focus would have been pulled on Tom
been
Welling.
Way off of her.
So for them to even include two more Superman made me feel incredible because I was never really behind him size-wise. I think he's an incredible actor, an incredible guy, and I would have loved to seen his own series as opposed to him sharing it with Betsy Tula.
Yeah.
But, we'll see what happens.
All right, so that's what I thought on that. So let's go to our second call right now.
Hey, Jay, it's Hank from Kentucky. I got a Moon Knight question. Do you think we could possibly see John Bernthal's Punisher show up in that series, and who the hell is going to be the villain? Also, who's your personal picks for the Fantastic Four casting? Thanks. Love you, man.
All right, Hank, thank you for your call. So, first off, do we think we'll see John Bernthal's Punisher in Moon Knight? I would love to see that.
Who wouldn't?
I hope he can stay playing that role. I mean, I'd be happy for that. But who do you think the villain would be? So I did some research.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't too familiar. I'm familiar with Moon Knight. I'm not familiar directly with his villains.
Right.
I think it would be Black Spectre. And the reason being because he's somewhat the opposite of Moon Knight.
In what sense?
So, from what I was doing the research on, he has his own armor and whatnot, and it's almost, again, where was it? I'm sorry. I'll follow it up with it, but I had it. I just had it. I messed up. Oh, yeah. He's one of Moon Knight's oldest nemesis who donned the armor of Black Spectre as an homage to Moon Knight, though he aimed for evil rather than good and made several attempts to control the city of New York. Okay. So when you try to be the hero, that's why. That was what I saw. So because you always try to be the hero, you become the bad guy. Absolutely. And it's always the flip side for their main one out the gate. You know what I'm saying? So
just like Ant-Man.
Ant-Man was Yellow Jacket out the gate. All of them pretty much. Yeah. We did Ironmonger, for Iron Man. So all of those happened.
Whiplash, yeah.
We did Abomination for the Hulk.
For the Hulk, yeah.
So
that's the go-to.
It's always the flip one real quick. So I think you might get Black Spectre. Mm-hmm. Do you think it could be any other Marvel villain that could show up?
Not for the first one. I mean, you could always throw those abstract ones out there. Like I could pitch, maybe we'll see the Prowler. You know what I'm saying? But I doubt it.
Yeah, we will have to see. Because that's going to be an interesting one.
Kingpin is always a good choice.
And if it ain't Vincent D'Onofrio, I don't care.
No, and here's the thing. Because they canceled all the series, now we got Disney Plus is here. They could literally reboot those series.
I think not until another year or two. Some have like...
Licensing?
Well, licensing, they have like 2, 3... It's almost like the no compete clause for wrestlers. So they have to wait till the time is up. Then Disney can actually have them back officially to do what they want.
Then if that's the case, then they should already be ready for Luke Cage for that to happen.
I don't think that's one I don't think is happening. Because with Simone Missick having her show on CBS, as well as Mike having his show on CBS.
What show Mike got on CBS?
Evil.
Science fiction?
It's like science fiction horror, but it's on CBS. And then Simone plays a judge on this show.
All Rise.
Yeah, on All Rise. So, those two are happening. But, if anything, Charlie Cox's Daredevil is pretty much a guaranteed.
Woo!
I think that's... And they say there's been a lot of talk of Kristen Ritter as Jessica Jones as well.
Well, I can take your time.
But again, that was all the calls. Thank you to all our callers, man, both of them. Again, if you want to call and leave your comments, 818-276-6947, 818-276-6947. And that is it for everything this week, episode 44 of the Mad Titan Podcast, man. Thank you, Clayton, man, bro. I appreciate it so much. You being on here, taking some time out, man. I know you finna go hang out and kick it, and I got a bunch of shit I gotta do. I'm literally exhausted, but I made sure I do this for the people, and I wanted to get on here and talk with you about this and being able to nerd out, black nerd style, and keep shit real and hardcore, and just keep it A100. I'm grateful for you, bro. So go ahead and tell the people how they can reach you, how they can find you.
I am ClaytonThomas.com. That is, you can find the YouTube, the Facebook, the Instagram, all that good stuff. Thank you for having me, man. I would love to do this again.
Yes,
with some more news breaks. This is dope.
Dog, it's open for you. I think I'm gonna try to do a big forum with a bunch of people I know can talk it when Crisis drops. I don't know, but see, the problem is Crisis is gonna be split up, and I don't know if I want to wait until the end in January to finally talk about it. But
talk to me in January
when it's done.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you'll be back for the thing after Crisis.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
we can talk about everything we loved
and what we hated. Yeah. Whatever didn't work. All right, man. So, man, I appreciate you for that. For me, you always know you can find me Twitter and Instagram at Mr. J Washington, MRJAY. You should know how to spell Washington. I don't know why I got to keep telling y'all every week. It's the truth. You should really know how to spell Washington.
You should know how to spell Washington. I should have to tell you that every week.
Just I shouldn't.
Every week.
The Patreon, the Supervillain Squad on Patreon, patreon.com/Mr. J. Washington. Join the member squad. Become a member squad. It's $1 to $5 support. It helps grow things. I get to travel places, interview people, have people on the show like I'm here at Clayton's crib. He's not with me. So things like that happen. But thank you to all the members of the squad right now. Adelia Chamberlain, Akeem J. Brown, AZ Badfish, Brandon Buckingham, California Joe, Kasi Ancelobe, David Adams, DJ Snacks, Greg Morshi, James Smart, Jeffrey Tardon, Jim Mason, John Mariano, LK, Marcus Kennedy, Marcus Burton, Mikey Lido, Paisley Darts, Rudy Rueda, Steve Tozen, and the Prince that wasn't promised. Thank you to each and every one of you all for being members of the squad. And please join in if you haven't joined on to the squad as well. Alright? Make sure you are rating and reviewing the show. Please, I've seen a lot of people throwing a lot of new rates and reviews. Please do that. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, if you're listening on Google Podcasts, if you're listening on Spotify, wherever you're listening at, please throw more rates and reviews. This gets us higher up in the algorithm so more people can listen and find out about this and be like, yo, I never knew that I needed a podcast talking about nerd shit that was so down to earth, just like I was chilling with the homies, because that's exactly what this is, all right? I will holler at you guys next week. Till then, yeah, I'm going to do one right before Thanksgiving. I'll holler, whatever. But I'll holler at y'all. Take care. I'm out of here. Peace.